Hello, everyone. Brother Yubby here, your coach of the Boston Red Sky. And this is our MLBA Week 1 team builder and match. And I will first want to say thank you for joining me. But let's jump right into the teams here. So we are facing off against Hat. He is the owner and commissioner of the league. He's someone that I very much respect in the draft league format. And he has a very scary team. So right in the middle of the screen, we see his team, and it starts off with the ReshiRAM, and we don't do much to a ReshiRAM. And then on top of that, he has Zeraora, both of which are Z Pokemon. And what do I do? I don't know. And then on top of it, he has Gligar and Mantine. Both are huge physical walls that can basically just wall out my entire team if I don't prep accordingly. Aromatisse can pass wishes. He has Bisharp, Steel Dark type, incredibly strong, especially if it sets up a Sword Stance. It can also Rock Polish. I might be a little afraid of a Dual Dance set, so I may have prepped a little bit for that. Hitmonchan is his spinner. He has Zoroark. Zoroark is pretty scary in this matchup because it could lure in a few Pokemon that I might need later on in the matchup. And then Mega Gallade is incredibly scary as well. Basically, I don't have anything really that can come in reliably on one side, whether it be physical or special, and take on the combination of either ReshiRAM and Zeraora, and then Bisharp and Mega Gallade. It's very difficult to find a Pokemon that does that. And then he has Spinda. Spinda, no. No Spinda. Not coming. Don't worry. If you need a slight refresher on my team, our team is right here in the middle as well. It is Magearna, Mew, Mega Charizard X, Dugtrio, Umbreon, Aerodactyl, Silvally, Quillfish, Rotom Fan, Breloom, and Swadloon. So, immediately looking at the team, I think Dugtrio has a great matchup. So, first things first, I'm not going to be braining it, which is amazing. And the reason I did not choose to bring it is because I felt like he needed to over prep for it. He needed to over prep for Dugtrio with ReshiRAM and Zeraora and Bisharp. He might not bring all three, but I think all three are going to come. The 6 Pokemon that I immediately think have the best matchup are ReshiRAM, Zeraora, Bisharp, Gligar, Mantine, and Mega Gallade. Those are just the scariest Pokemon on his team mixed with the best walls against my team. And then I think Zoroark could be very scary in this matchup. I don't think Hitmonchan or Aromatisse have very good matchups whatsoever. And Spinda is Spinda. It's very, very bad. So I don't need to go into detail on Spinda. So those are the 6, possibly 7 that I think he's going to bring. I think they work out very well against my team. So I'm going to kind of prep against those. So immediately with those 6/7 Pokemon, he's very weak to Dugtrio. So I think he either needs Scarf ReshiRAM or he needs to be a Shed Shell ReshiRAM in order to take on my Dugtrio. And Zeraora either has to be Sugarberry, Shed Shell, or Z-Move. Because Zeraora can outspeed my Dugtrio, but if he's fearing that I may Scarf Dugtrio, he's probably going to Shed Shell his Zeraora. And if he thinks that I'm going to be Scarf my Dugtrio, he's also going to bring Shed Shell. He'll bring Shed Shell on his ReshiRAM. But if he is, or he'll bring, And if he thinks I'm going to be regular Dugtrio, he's probably going to bring Z-Move, Zeraora, and Scarf ReshiRAM. And then I don't think Bisharp's going to have much prep in terms of Dugtrio, other than it will probably have Sucker Punch. So we'll jump right into the team that I built, and immediately I will address the Aerodactyl in the room. This is not the Aerodactyl that I brought to the match. The Aerodactyl that I brought to the match actually didn't play any sort of role in the match, and with that being said, since it didn't play a role and I'm doing this after the match happened, I might want to think about bringing either that Aerodactyl set maybe in the next week, maybe in the weeks after, or Hat is one of the teams that we faced twice this season. I believe we faced 2 teams twice, 2 or 3, I'm not sure, but we definitely faced him twice. We faced him this first week and we faced him in the last week. So I do want to keep that kind of hidden away since it didn't play a role in the match whatsoever. But I did really like the Aerodactyl set. If it comes down to it, I would really like to just kind of share that at some point. So if you are curious about the set and someone I possibly trust. Even if I don't, whatever, I'll send that set to you if you're really curious about it. But the first Pokemon that I decided to bring was Breloom. It is a Life Orb Technician Breloom, max attack 152 HP, which makes me at a 9 ending for HP, so I'm taking the least amount of damage due to Life Orb. 48 defense and 56 speed. 56 speed is to outspeed a 40 base speed, or not 40 base speed, a 40 speed invested Bisharp, and still give a little bit of wiggle room in case he wants to speed creep. 48 defense allows me to take the physical hits from the Bisharp very well, and I can fire back with Mach Punches. I have Mach Punch, Rock Tomb, Spore, and Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch is for the Mantine. Spore is to catch the incoming Gligar. That's the name of it. And Rock Tomb is to hit anything coming in and slow it down. Then I have, so I talked about Aerodactyl. I just kind of threw a berry on there, by the way. But Berry actually wouldn't have been that bad in this matchup. It's not what I brought, but it wouldn't have been bad in this matchup due to him having Bisharp. It could have been a very good Bisharp lure. So next Pokemon I brought is Magearna. Is a Fairy MZ Magearna. Obviously Soul Heart. It's the only ability it gets. 192 HP, 12 defense, max special attack modest with 52 speed. 52 speed is to make sure that I can outspeed an 8 speed invested Bisharp. I have Floor Cannon, Thunderbolt, Substitute, and Ice Beam. Bolt Beam coverage is very good for his 2 walls, being Mantine and Gligar, and he does not have a Fairy Resist, so Floor Cannon, especially Z Floor Cannon, is incredibly free. And if I can set up a substitute on something switching out, I can nuke something with either a Fairy MZ, or if he brings in one of his walls, I can hit it with a Thunderbolt or an Ice Beam and carry on my wayward son. No. Whatever. Next Pokemon brain is my Mew. This is my main check to his Mega Gallade, as well as an okay check to his Bisharp. Bisharp's probably going to want to Pursuit Trap my Mew as it is, and this is my best Stealth Rocker as well. So I brought Stealth Rocks, Roost, Foul Play, and Toxic. I'm basically max HP, max defense, and I have 20 in speed, just so I can kind of outspeed a speed creep if he's going for that. I hit 241 speed. I believe that outspeeds a max speed Adamant Bisharp as well, so it works out well there. A Foul Play onto a +2 Mega Gallade, if he sets up Sword Stance, obviously, is a very good roll in my favor to Oko, especially if he comes in after rocks. Colbur Berry makes sure that I take any hit from him. I take less than 50% from a +2 knockoff, which is very nice, and then his knockoff is doing about the same amount of damage, and his close combat and his Zen Headbutts aren't going to be very effective on me, just because of my natural typing. Next, I am bringing Despair the Umbreon. It's leftovers with 248 HP, 8 defense, 208 special defense, and 44 speed with a calm nature. The speed is to make sure I am outspeeding a max or a non-speed invested Bisharp. And I'm basically Wish Protect. Wish Protect is to make sure that I not only keep myself healthy, but it allows me to pass wishes into something like Magearna or the Savali, possibly the Aerodactyl, the Mew, and if I want to bring in Breloom on something. And Toxic is there for anything that I'm not hitting with a Foul Play. Foul Play hits his Bisharp well, and that's about all I need it for. Everything else gets Toxic. Everything else is going to be Toxic. I don't care. So Foul Play is there for the Bisharp, and in case it starts setting up, he actually cannot 2-hit KO me with anything unless he is at +2 attack. And if he's at +2 attack, I'm actually easily 2-hit KOing him with Foul Play. I can Foul Play him on the swords before he Sword Stances as long as I outspeed, but if he outspeeds me and sets up Sword Stance, I am able to not only do about 75% to him, but he actually cannot kill me with anything after that, so I am able to kill him off with the next Foul Play. So Umbreon is a very good check to not only the Bisharp, but also to any of his special threats. This comes in and takes and is never 2-hit KO'd by a max special attack modest ReshiRAM, as long as it is not a damage boosting item. And it's a very good check to Zeraora as well, as long as it's either not having close combat coverage, or it is possibly Toxic, or I can catch around a good switch. And lastly, I am bringing Silvally Ground. It is 248 HP, 20 special attack, 24 special defense, and 216 speed with a hasty nature. Hasty nature is plus speed minus defense. And I am multi-attack, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Defog. This is my best Defog of this match. I was contemplating this slot in the team either with my Silvally and possibly a different type of Silvally or Mega Charizard X, but I figured if I brought Mega Charizard X, I was going to want Defog, and Silvally was my best Defogger, so I decided to bring in Silvally just in case he got up rocks and it started to get frustrating on my end, and I wasn't able to get rocks up, or rocks were more detrimental to my team than his, then it could defog them away and possibly get them back up with Mew later on. Multi-attack, ground coverage, hits everything on his team neutrally, other than his Mantine and his Gligar, and my two other coverage moves are quad effective against both of them, so this Silvally is actually very, very offensively good in this matchup. Couldn't think of a better word than good, but 220 special attack allows me to guarantee a 2-hit KO on a max special defense Mantine with Thunderbolt, and I believe I'm OHKOing a non-special defense invested Gligar after Stealth Rock's damage. So, and multi-attack hits everything very well, even with no attack investment. So, now we will jump into the match. We see on his side, he brought the 6 that I predicted, no Zoroark, which is very nice to see, and I have my 6 on this side. So, we will jump right into the match. I do want to first say good luck, good game to Hat. The game is already done. Obviously, this is a replay, but want to say good game as well. So we lead in. I lead off with my Umbreon. I felt Umbreon was my best lead in case he wanted to bring in. He either wanted to lead with his Gallade, his ReshiRAM, his Bisharp, or his Zeraora. It matched up well against just about everything. Now that this Zeraora is out, I want to Toxic it, and if I can Toxic it, I can wear it down. And since he led with it, I'm expecting it to be Z-move. Probably, I should say. Probably Z-move. So I do want to end up scouting out for his Z fighting. The only way he can OHKO me from full is if he is adamant Z fighting, and if he's adamant, he's not outspeeding a max speed Aerodactyl. So I don't think he's adamant. If he is jolly, he can never KO me with a non-boosted all-out pummeling. So I'm going to go right for a Toxic as he goes for a bulk up. So scary, very, very scary Zeraora. And here I go for the Protect. Protect to scout out for the Z-move. Now the Z-move would be able to kill me, and he does pop the Z-move, which is really nice to see. Umbreon's going to take that relatively well. It takes about 1/3 of my health, but I get some recovery back, and I can now go into my Mew, expecting him to close combat. Close combat was the only way he was killing me there, and now Mew can set up Stealth Rocks. I probably should have Roosted here. Roost made it so that I was never going to be 2-hit KO'd by his Plasma Fist, but Stealth Rocks are fine. This allows me now to switch out into my Silvally Ground. Silvally Ground takes his Plasma Fist very easily, and I can now just multi-attack on his close combat. I definitely live. I take less than 60% even with a minus defense nature and him being +1, and I'm able to get the first kill of the season with Silvally with the multi-attack. He brings in his Gallade. My best switch-in is my Mew still. Hopefully he doesn't predict that. He goes for a Psycho Cut, and here I am always out of range of a knockoff. So go down to about 1% and I can roost off the damage, which is perfect. I now get another roost off and my Mew is back to full health, which is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Gligar comes in, Umbreon can now come right in. He Toxics, very good play on his end, especially since he's immunity and I cannot Toxic him back. But this allows me to get up a Wish, and my plan here immediately is to get the Wish into my Silvally, because Silvally starts applying a lot of pressure to his team, both offensively and defensively. So I get my Silvally in, and he doubles into his Mantine, which seems like a good play on his end. Seems like a very good play, but I have the Thunderbolt. I'm doing 54%, which is perfect. And this allows him to Scald. He Scald burns me. I always get burnt on the first Scald of the match, so never, without a doubt, always going to be burnt. But that's fine. I don't need multi-attack. Everything that I'm going to multi-attack, I still do about 40% to. Here, I let my Silvally go down. To the Sucker Punch, I could have defogged there and gotten rid of the rocks on both sides. But that was if I expected him to Sucker Punch. If he had set up a Sword Stance, if he had set up a Rock Polish, if he had set up a sub, I wanted to make sure I got the damage off on him. Because since my Breloom is not max speed Jolly, I can't guarantee that I'm outspeeding his Bisharp, because if he was max speed Jolly Bisharp, then he would outspeed me and he would outprioritize me with his sucker punch as opposed to my mock punch. So I wanted to make sure I got the damage off so I could eventually bring in either my Aerodactyl or my Magearna in order to revenge kill it. So I went for the multi-attack in case he decided to try and set up. So I can now go into Breloom. I definitely scare this thing out, so I go for a Spore, expecting the Gligar to come in. Now that the Gligar is put asleep, I'm not as worried about it. He pulls a nice double into his Gallade as I go into my Magearna. I believe he was expecting probably my Umbreon. I'm not exactly sure what he was expecting going into that. Maybe he was looking for it as a chance to set up, who I'm not really sure. But my Magearna now gets to come in, and I get to Z Floor Cannon something. I'm either taking the kill on the Mega Gallade, or I am now going to kill that ReshiRAM. So that was a crit on the Twinkle Tackle. If we sent sets after the match, so he was max HP. So since he was max HP, the minimum damage that I did with that Twinkle Tackle was 73.8%. So it was a roll immediately. The crit made it so that it wasn't a roll, but it was a roll that was heavily in my favor. I believe it was about 87% chance to kill. So I'd like to say it didn't matter. But now Magearna is at +1, and it is scary. I Floor Cannon. He shows his basically no speed investment in his Bisharp. Floor Cannon gets its second kill. Here the Gligar comes in. He has to burn his first turn of sleep. Ice Beam's going to kill that. So Magearna is looking really good right now. All he has left is the Mega Gallade, and he's going to Psycho Cut, and we're going to miss. But that's not that big of a deal. We have another chance to hit it, and Magearna is going to come through and hit its last Floor Cannon, and we are going to win 5-0 against the Cleveland Spindians. And I want to say, first and foremost, great game to have. It was a very good game. The Zeraora was incredibly scary. Your whole team is very, 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 very scary, and I think I prepped pretty well against it. I'm not looking forward to rematching you, and at the end, hopefully we've already clinched playoffs at that point, and I don't need to worry about it as much, and hopefully you have as well, so we don't have to worry about the match, and we can just kind of meme it out. That's what I'm hoping, but doubtful, at least for both of us, since we're both in the same division. So, oh yeah, by the way, we're in the same division as a ReshiRAM and a Zeraora on the same team. Yay! Love it. But I think we played around the Zeraora incredibly well, and I think the rest of our team was complemented each other incredibly well, and I think that I'm going to continue having a lot of fun with this team. I do want to take the time here at the end to say that Silvally is incredibly fun to build with. This is the first time I've ever used Silvally, whether it be on the ladder or just in Draft League, and just in this first match alone, I had so much fun thinking of different types I could bring with different sets that I could bring. It was just an incredibly fun experience with Silvally, and I hope I can have a lot of fun with it for the rest of the season, and I hope that you can join me in the fun I'm going to have with Silvally and the rest of my team. I think I have a really fun team, and I think my team is going to do very well throughout this league. I think we have a very well-rounded team here. So I do want to say thank you to Hat for a great game, and good luck in your future matches. And I also would like to say that we are facing off against Sock in the next match, and he has a Marshadow. And I think I have an awful opening 3 matches, strictly for the fact that I had faced a ReshiRAM week 1, Marshadow week 2, and week 3, I looked ahead, we face off a Deoxys normal, which, why? It's okay, though. I think we'll figure something out. If we don't, well, we lose, but whatever. We'll keep trudging along. So thank you very much for joining me. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe. If you liked my ranting, I don't know why you would, but whatever. Have a great day, everyone, and thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you all next week while we take on Sock in the MLBA. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.